Hey Lakers Nation! To stay on top of the news and not miss the news from the team, subscribe to our channel. We provide new Lakers updates daily, keeping you always informed with the latest news. Lakers lose to the Heat and Anthony Davis leaves the court injured. The Lakers staged an incredible fourth-quarter comeback, led by a Herculean performance from LeBron James, but fell short in Miami on Monday as the team suffered yet another 108-107 loss. To make matters worse, Anthony Davis left the game with a hip injury that kept him out of action in the final period. LeBron James had an absurd effort against his former team, scoring 30 points on 13-23 shooting, and Austin Reeves also seems to have regained his rhythm, scoring 23 points with 10 rebounds and 9 assists. Davis had 9 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists in 25 minutes before ending his night early. Davis suffered a hip spasm that forced him on and off the court throughout the rest of the game and severely limited his mobility. Given his injury history, we will eagerly await an update on his status going forward. Lakers had a better start than in previous matches. After struggling with poor first periods, the starters resolved the situation in the first 12 minutes against Miami. With LA winning the rebounding battle and getting production from every starter, with James starting the first quarter with 9 points to help the Lakers finish the quarter tied at 33. Davis suffered a new injury in the final minutes of the second period. Miami, which held the fifth-best three-point shooting percentage in the NBA that night, shot 9-12 from long range in the first half to help them take a three-point lead into halftime. In the final minutes of the second period, Davis suffered the injury that would have limited him for the rest of the night. Davis tried to continue playing in the opening minutes of the third period, but left for good with just over a minute to go, proving incapable of being effective. LeBron was aggressive once again after Davis's departure. With Davis gone, James was aggressive in the third period, keeping the Lakers in the game with consecutive dunks trying to boost the attack. Once James left the court with 5 minutes remaining in the third, however, Miami went on a 10-0 run and opened up a game lead, maintaining an 11-point deficit entering the fourth quarter. James continued to lead the attack in the final frame, reducing the deficit to 6 and blocking Tyler Herro, very characteristic of our player. But after a series of layups by Jamie Jaquez Jr., a game-winning shot by Bam Adebayo, and an ejection by D'Angelo Russell, all of the Lakers' momentum seemed to end. The Lakers, however, refused to throw in the towel. Christian would hit a three-pointer, and after a basket from James, the Lakers were within 1 point, but after having the last ball of the game, Cam Reddish failed to hit another free three ball and the turning point in the game ended up not happening. Despite the loss, Davis's injury is all that matters. We can discuss rebounding, slow starts, and what the best rotations are, but if Davis can't play, this team's potential will be very limited. We don't know what Davis's status will be for the Lakers' next game against Houston, but we will update the injury report as soon as the Lakers announce it. Anthony Davis comments on injuries suffered in a game against the Heat. During the current NBA season, the Lakers have been dealing with a series of injuries, but no problem seems as threatening as the scare the team had in this Monday's match. Against the Heat, in the second period, Anthony Davis left the court with what appeared to be an injury to his left leg. Although Davis attempted to return to the game several times, he was unable to remain on the court and sat out the final period. However, he was optimistic about his participation in the next game against Houston. At halftime of the game, Shams Charania of The Athletic reported that Davis had suffered a hip spasm, an atypical injury. Davis even warmed up in an attempt to return to play, but had to be removed from the game at the beginning of the third. Last season, Davis had already dealt with a hip injury during the playoffs. The recent injury, however, affected the other side of his hip and was not the result of a specific play, although it clearly limited his performance. The big question now is what impact this injury will have on Davis's performance and whether it will keep him away from the court. With the Lakers already struggling with roster fitness, Davis's absence would be deeply felt. The silver lining is that Davis seems confident that this is not a serious long-term injury. Lakers rumors, team could seek trade reunion with $37 million guard. If the Lakers have lacked an edge in the early part of the 2023-24 NBA season, there is one way the team probably could fix it: trade for a former Laker. It's only November and the Lakers' rumor mill is not in full swing, but still, one executive mentioned LA as a possible suitor for Bulls guard Alex Caruso, who helped the team to the 2020 NBA championship won in the Orlando bubble. Alex Caruso was a key member of that team's bench, but left the Lakers for the Bulls on a 4-year, $37 million contract in 2021. He's not a big numbers guy. Caruso averaged 5.9 points in 184 games during his time with the Lakers, but his departure was something many in the organization pretty quickly realized was a bad idea. Bulls have overvalued Alex Caruso on trade market. Of course, any Lakers rumor is fine in a vacuum, but it will require a little cooperation from the other side to come to fruition. Last year, the Bulls were rumored to be seeking 2 first-round picks for Caruso, which was taken by some to mean they were not all that interested in trading him at all. No one was going to give up that much for a role player like Caruso. This year, with Chicago struggling in the early going of the season and the team possibly in need of some retooling, the Bulls might have to get more realistic on Caruso's value. They could demand a first-round pick, which would likely be too high a price for the Lakers. But there could be workarounds on that. The Bulls likely would not have interest in a deal based on Christie or Hood-Schifino without a pick that they can control themselves. But if the market on Caruso is generally disappointing, the Lakers could be in position to add him without dipping into the limited supply of future picks.